What was the weirdest thing a woman has ever done to you? Tried to set me on fire for no reason. She wasn't mad or anything. She just held a lighter to my back and scorched my jacket a little before I noticed. My girlfriend got drunk and bit me in front of my parents. They like her. Me to her place and had the most intense loudest sex then. I'm talking hours upon hours of increasingly mind-blowing passionful sport fucking. And then on my way out in the morning I see her dad watching TV on the couch. This guy heard me blowing his daughter like a maniac for hours. Turned out she lived with her family still, younger siblings and all. Had this FWB in college. She was a little bit into rough stuff, mild choking, slapping, etc. She liked to give and receive. A year or so after I graduated she scheduled an overnight layover in my city. I pick her up at the airport and as soon as we get into my truck, she slapped me across the face, then pulled out my cock and blew me. Later that night in a ballroom on the top floor of a hotel, which was obviously empty, she had me sit on the grand piano and she blew me again while she played it. Fun girl. Really friendly with someone I met this year, had lunch one day, she got something on her lips, told her, and she told me to lick it off. Punched me in the stomach out of nowhere, then apologized profusely as she explained that she thought I was someone else. ONS took my belt from my jeans, tied my hands to the bed, that I was okay with, I don't mind that shit. What came next was a revolution for me. She started sucking me off, moved onto my balls, then out of nowhere, lifted my legs up and began rimming me. I was surprised, it felt strange, but by God, she was good at it. After that, she untied me, climbed off me and walked out my door, downstairs, completely naked in a house I shared with my flatmates, and sat on the kitchen table waiting for me to fuck her. Naturally, I obliged her. She licked my eyeball, I had something in my eye and the discomfort was interrupting us. She said, I can get it, held my eye open, and licked my eyeball. It was weird, but it worked and it got the thing out of my eye. One girl liked to finish sex with oral. It stands to reason that her own juices in her mouth aren't an issue, right? So I tried to get her to do the seductive finger-sucking deal, you know what I'm talking about. This was after I had been toying with her. So I guess there was sex juice residue in the vicinity of my fingers. Here I am still thinking this isn't an issue, how wrong I was. She kicked me off the bed, literally put her foot in my chest and kicked me off the bed. I nearly hit my head on the desk. This was insanity, to me, because she was into a lot of domineering shit, but she refused to talk about it, so I had to minesweeper that shit, except instead of little bombs I was kicked off the bed. In college, we had a party in our apartment that night. I don't drink, but just hung out and all. So things wind down pretty uneventfully and I go to bed while my roommates are still up hanging out. I wake up to a loud crash. This girl a couple of my roommates knew came over, and for some reason it struck them as a good idea to push a drunk girl in heels on a bike in the apartment. It went poorly and she hit the beer pong table, so I go out to see what the hell happened and I go up to her to see if she's okay. And she just stares at me not wearing a shirt for a moment, then tells me that I'd look really good with a belly button ring, and starts fondling my belly button. It was awkward as hell. I went and put a shirt on. Girl that was 7 years my senior, I'm 22, that I worked with, who I'm pretty sure liked me, drew a picture of me and put it up in my work locker. Also she also knew that another girl we worked with, whom I referred and knew a bit from a previous job, clearly had some sort of crush on me even though she was in a relationship, but still went and asked her if she liked me, like I knew that she wasn't trying to go after me or anything, just blatant attraction. Yet she still went and asked, I think. She even asked me before and stuff like that and I'd be like no, me and her are just friends oh. And then she put some sort of love note in my locker and signed it that girl's name, like, come on man, I knew it was her right away. But shit was still weird, she did a lot of weird stuff. Known this girl for maybe a week. She sat at my table in lunch. As we were leaving one day, she just says, you don't care if someone bites you, right? I replied, I dunno, I don't think I would. I was inferring it was a sexual kind of thing. She then proceeds to bite my collarbone as hard as she can. In the middle of a crowded lunchroom, she bit through my shirt and drew blood. No one really saw, but it hurt like crazy. She's done it at least weekly now and she doesn't do it to anyone else. She has a boyfriend though, and they regularly sneak off to fuck in the gym, so IDK why she keeps doing this.